Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into the mind of Nakamura Tempu, a true giant of 20th century Japanese philosophy. His ideas about life and success, well, they were nothing short of revolutionary. And the best part is, this isn't some abstract ivory tower philosophy. It's a real, practical toolkit for actually forging your own destiny.
You've heard this kind of advice a million times, right? Have conviction. Let go of your desires. It sounds super deep and wise. But what if I told you that Tempu believed this kind of common sense was not only wrong, but was actually holding you back? Yeah, he argued that our whole understanding of these ideas was just flawed from the start.
And that's exactly where we're going to start. Tempu's whole philosophy kicks off by basically taking a wrecking ball to the common sense we've all been taught to just accept without ever really thinking about it.
This quote right here gets to the heart of what Tempu noticed. He saw people who had studied his teachings for years, but the second they got sick or faced a real crisis, poof, all that understanding just crumbled. And he asked, why? It's because their knowledge was just in their head. It was all abstract, a collection of nice-sounding words that completely failed them when life got real.
So, this brings us to one of those big, important words, conviction. Tempu believed that our misunderstanding of this one single concept was a huge reason why we fail. So he set out to completely redefine it for us.
Okay, this right here is the game changer. We usually think conviction is just super strong positive thinking, you know? I think I can, I really hope this works out. But for Tempu, that wasn't it at all, not even close. He said true conviction is an absolute state of mind. It's a place that's beyond both positive and negative thoughts. It's not about believing you'll succeed. It's a state where the ideas of success and failure don't even exist anymore.
Tempu had this amazing story he'd tell about the legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi that just explains this perfectly. A lord asked Musashi if he ever got nervous or worried about winning or losing before a big duel. Musashi was almost confused by the question. He said, "Look, it's my profession. Do you sit down to eat and worry if your food is poisoned? No, you just eat." Dueling was just what he did. Winning or losing, it wasn't even part of the mental equation. That, my friends, is absolute conviction.
So how in the world do we get there? Well, Tempu gave us a simple, really powerful method. First, you have to use your imagination to create a crystal clear picture of your goal. I mean, not some vague idea, but a detailed, living, breathing image. And second, you have to tend to that image constantly. He compared it to the Olympic flame. You can never, ever let it go out. If you can hold that vivid image in your mind, conviction stops being something you have to try for. It just becomes your natural state.
All right, now we get to Tempu's most radical idea. This is the one that just flew in the face of thousands of years of spiritual wisdom. He argued that trying to get rid of desire is, well, a total fool's errand.
I mean, listen to this. Tempu just came right out and said that every great sage who taught this was wrong. How could he say that? Because he realized their own spiritual journeys were fueled by an incredibly intense desire. The desire to escape suffering, the desire to find truth, the desire for enlightenment. Desire, he argued, isn't the enemy. It's the very engine of human life and all of our progress.
So, the goal isn't to kill desire. The key, he said, is to switch the kind of desire you're chasing. Tempu saw two types. First, there's painful desire. This is that endless craving for more. More money, more status, more stuff. It never ends, and it just leads to burnout and misery. But then there's joyful desire. This is the kind that finds its reward in the action itself, like the desire to help someone or to create something beautiful. This desire doesn't drain you. It actually fills you up with energy and real happiness.
And believe me, Tempu knew this from his own life. After he came back from his spiritual training in India, he became this incredibly successful businessman. We're talking multiple homes, endless money, a life of just insane luxury. But as he says right here, he was completely miserable. He was a prisoner of his own painful desires, always chasing the next thing and feeling totally exhausted and empty inside.
His big aha moment came when he least expected it. His wife asked him to spend a couple of hours sharing his life philosophy with his sick cousin. He didn't really want to, but he did it. And to his total shock, after speaking for 2 hours, he wasn't tired at all. In fact, he felt this incredible surge of energy and this deep, fulfilling joy he'd never gotten from all his money. He realized that the desire to serve others, a joyful desire, was infinitely more powerful. That one single event changed his entire life, leading him to just walk away from his business and dedicate himself to teaching.
And that brings us to our final section, a simple, concrete habit you can start tomorrow morning that really captures Tempu's whole philosophy of actively creating your own reality.
Tempu's whole philosophy really rests on this one simple truth. You are what you think. Your reality isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you actively create with your mind, every single moment. And the most important moment of all is that little window right after you wake up, because it sets the tone for your entire day.
So here's the practice. It's almost ridiculously simple. The very second you wake up, before any other thought has a chance to sneak in, you just say these 3 things. Thank you. I'm excited for today. Something great will surely happen. It sounds so simple, right? But what you're doing is powerful. You're flipping the default switch in your brain. Instead of starting the day with dread or exhaustion, you are deliberately programming your mind for gratitude, for excitement, and for positivity. You're literally creating the conditions for a great day.
And that, right there, is the ultimate message from Nakamura Tempu's philosophy. It's not about fate. It's not about luck. It's not about your circumstances. It's about taking radical, total responsibility for the state of your own mind. Because in the end, the only person who can build your life, forge your destiny, and create the person you truly want to be is you.